You know, money used to move at the speed of business. Now it moves at the speed of light. We are smack in the middle of a revolution in how we all pay for things. A world of instant, real-time transactions. And for businesses, this is a massive leap forward. But this new frontier, it's got a dark side. Because when money moves that fast, you better believe the criminals do too. To really get a handle on this new financial battlefield, we have to start with the numbers.
And just how big are we talking? Well, take a look at this. In 2024 alone, real-time payment networks right here in the US processed a jaw-dropping $246 billion. This isn't some small, incremental change, folks. This is a tidal wave of cash, and it's completely reshaping how money works.
And that wave is not only getting bigger, it's getting faster. That $246 billion, that's a 94% increase in value year over year. Think about that. Adoption isn't just growing, it's absolutely exploding. Businesses are scrambling to get in on the speed and efficiency of these instant payments.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. With all this incredible new power comes an irreversible reality. Once you hit send, that money is gone. Poof. Instantly. And there is no undo button. There's no going back. And that single fact right there changes everything about financial security.
So, first things first, let's talk about the good stuff. The promise. I mean, why are so many businesses, especially small and medium-sized ones, jumping on this train? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Instant payments solve some of their biggest, most persistent headaches.
For any small business, cash flow is everything, right? It's the lifeblood. With real-time payments, you're not waiting around for days for an invoice to clear. You get the money now. You can pay your suppliers instantly, which keeps your whole supply chain happy and moving. And this isn't some 9-to-5 deal. The whole system is live 24/7, 365 days a year. It's a true game changer.
But yeah, all that power, it comes at a cost. The very thing that makes these payments so revolutionary, the fact that they're final, also creates their greatest weakness. It is quite literally a point of no return.
And this right here is the crucial piece of the puzzle. The technical term is irrevocability. See, in the old world of payments, if you realized, oh no, I've been scammed, you had a window, maybe hours, sometimes even days, to call the bank, stop the transaction, maybe even reverse it. That safety net, it's gone. And I mean, just look at this comparison. It is stark. With the older systems, you might have hours, even a couple of days, to review a transaction. With real-time payments, that entire window shrinks down to mere seconds. And your chance to reverse a payment you realized was fraud, it's zero. Absolutely zero. So who ends up carrying this new risk? Well, while it affects everyone, the fraudsters, they have a clear favorite target. The small and medium-sized businesses that are really the backbone of our economy are now finding themselves square in the crosshairs. And when you look at the data, you start to see the weapons these fraudsters are using on this new high-speed battlefield. And, well, one particular threat really stands head and shoulders above all the rest. And there it is. Look at that huge slice of the pie. A massive 38% of all this fraud comes from something called business email compromise, or BEC. That's where a scammer pretends to be someone you trust, like your CEO or a regular vendor, sends a convincing email, and tricks an employee into making an urgent payment. With RTP, that money just vanishes instantly.
So you have to ask, why them? Why are small businesses so vulnerable? Well, it's pretty simple, really. They usually don't have a whole team of people just watching for fraud. They don't have the same fancy security infrastructure as a huge corporation. And maybe most importantly, when a fraudulent payment of $10, $20, $50,000 goes out the door, they just can't absorb that loss. For many, it can be a fatal blow.
Okay, but this is where the story takes a turn. The problem is crystal clear. Human security just can't keep up with crime that moves at the speed of a machine. The only way to fight a threat moving at the speed of light is with something that can think even faster. The solution is an AI guardian.
It really is the central question of this whole challenge, isn't it? How in the world do you stop a thief who can drain an account in seconds when the transaction is final the moment it's sent? You can't put up a roadblock after the car has already screamed past. You have to be able to predict the crime before it even happens.
And this is what that looks like. The AI-driven real-time payment framework. Think of it like a digital bodyguard built right into the payment system itself. Its one job is to run a lightning-fast security check before a single dollar ever leaves the account.
So how does it do it? Well, it works with 3 distinct lines of defense. First up is anomaly detection. That just flags anything that looks weird. Statistically unusual, like a huge payment being sent at 3 in the morning. Next, a deep neural network acts kind of like a veteran accountant who knows your business inside and out, checking if a payment actually fits your normal patterns. And finally, a graph neural network plays detective, basically mapping out the recipient's connections to see if they're linked, even indirectly, to known fraud rings.
Now, that all sounds great in theory, right? But in the world of instant payments, theory doesn't really matter. The only thing that counts is how it performs under extreme pressure. So let's look at the evidence.
And here it is, the ultimate test. The system has to do all of that complex analysis and make a final go/no-go decision in less than 50 milliseconds. To give you some perspective, it takes you about 300 milliseconds just to blink your eyes. So can this AI guardian really think that fast?
Okay, this benchmark chart puts the AI in a head-to-head race against other fraud detection models. Now, over on the right, that's latency, how long it takes to make a decision. See that red dotted line? That's our critical 50 millisecond target. All the older models, they're just too slow. They can't keep up. But then, just look at that top bar.
23 milliseconds. That's the answer. The AI framework makes its call in just 23 milliseconds. It's not just fast enough. It's more than twice as fast as it needs to be. It operates in a time frame that is literally imperceptible to us.
In this final comparison, it's just staggering. Look at the proposed AI versus a standard older model. Precision, that's the accuracy of its fraud warnings, jumps from 71% to 96%. Recall, its ability to actually catch real fraud, goes from 65% to over 95%. And the speed, it drops from a sluggish 320 milliseconds all the way down to 23. This isn't just an improvement, it's a complete generational leap.
But the story doesn't stop there, because this is an arms race. The security experts have built a better guardian, a much better one. But the criminals, they're not just standing still. They're innovating too, and creating a new and maybe even more dangerous frontier for fraud.
And this quote from PwC really lays out the future of that arms race. The next wave of attacks will be powered by the exact same technology we're now using for defense. Yep, fraudsters are now using AI to create totally fake synthetic identities and deepfakes to launch attacks that are more sophisticated than anything we have ever seen.
So we've built these incredible AI guardians to protect us. They are faster, they are smarter, they're amazing. But this constant technological battle leaves us with one final, urgent question. Are we really ready for the day when the threats become just as smart?